So if you're lefty or righty, whatever's more convenient for you. Yes, it's touch.
You'll be playing a round robin, so you'll play 3 matches.
Oh, nice. Where'd you
So every team will play each other once. A victory for your team will earn you a point. A draw will earn you half a point, and 0 points for a loss. Okay, and cumulative points per team will get the victory.
All right.
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2025 Color Wars chess stream. I'm your host, Henry Lobel. And I think if everyone's ready, we'll get started. Yes. All right. So this right here is our title match, a Sergaladze showdown. We'll just do a little observation for now. These early games will start a little slow, but they pick up fast. You can see the gears turning. Not going to be a lot of high stakes chess until a little later. Started with 5 minutes on the clock for each participant. Already some takes over here. White up, material. So far, pretty dominant performance. Oh, there's the trade. It's tied. White has taken 2 rooks and a knight of blacks. Sorry, excuse me, bishops. 2 bishops and a knight of blacks. And likewise for black. Some missing junior participants. Over here, juniors are up 1 pawn. Chess may not be as flashy as the other events, but it's certainly a game of wit and careful thinking and trading. A lot of calculated risk taking. Back to the Sergaladzes. Some trades going down. Both tied material. The players thinking countless steps ahead. much further than I can ever.
There's about 30 seconds left in this match.
Some of these games getting low on time. About halfway through some of these matches. Over here, seniors up. Total of 3 points. Each pawn is worth 1. Bishops and knights are worth 3. Rooks are 5. And the queen is 8. Barren board over on this last game. Freshmen with just over a minute left. Seniors with just over 2:30. Many games in the end game now. Over here, looks like a senior victory. Harlan, that's a win.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Any other? Definitely in the end game down here. Each moves matter. And time is definitely a factor for the freshmen over here. All of the games started around the same time. So just over 2.5 minutes total on each game left. Move over here to the other side of the table. Down here, minute 30 for the juniors. Just under a minute for the sophomores. Checks back and forth in both these games. Not only do you need to think fast, you also need to move fast when every second is counting down until the end of your move. Very balanced game here. But it might come down to time. Blue nearly out of time now. If you touch one piece, you do have to move that piece. This next move might be the sophomore's last. So they got to make it count. And that's time. Over here, we have a finished sophomore junior game. Zach, oh, there it is. Congratulations.
I made one mistake. I literally had I forgot it was touch to move, so I accidentally touched a piece, and then I was screwed from there.
Right, again, that's you do have to move the piece that you touch. That can be costly if you don't carefully consider each move. And when time is a factor, that certainly is a contributor, and that will definitely mess up some of our players. Over here, the Sergaladze matchup is still going strong, very much in the end game now. I think we'll follow this through to the end. The volume's starting to pick up in this room as many of the games are finished. That is checkmate. Game to Sophie Sergaladze. Yeah, any thoughts for the camera?
I messed up by accident. I was winning by like a minute and whatever the material was, and he moved before he touched the clock before he moved his piece. So I tried to pause it and I accidentally turned it off. But it's okay. We restarted with 5-5 and I still won. So it was a good game. Good game we got.
All right, we're gonna have the
Very exciting matchup.
seniors and juniors. There we are.
Now we're going to switch up the teams. So far, very, very exciting. They might not seem exciting. Seniors 4, sorry? Okay, so seniors 4, freshmen 0. That is a dominant performance. And we'll check over here on the scoring sheet. That's 4 for the seniors. 4 total. Freshmen, 0s across the board. Unfortunately, sophomores looks like split games. Yeah. And 2 forfeits, I believe. They're the totals. You see seniors in the lead with 4, juniors and sophomore tied behind with 2, and freshmen bringing up the rear with 0 total games. Looks like we are just about ready to get our senior sophomore matchups and our freshman junior matchups underway. Again, each player with 5 minutes, 10 minutes total. That's about how long these games are going to last. Some nice sportsmanship, shaking hands before each of these matches. Now both the Sergaladze is free to be dominant in their respective games. White getting the queen out and involved early. Big part of chess is controlling those center 4 squares. So if you can get a good piece that's able to really dominate that space. I'm using dominate a lot, but that's what chess is. It's power. It's control. It's consideration. It's a bunch of more adjectives. White considering this trade. Chooses to do so. It's important to remember to touch the clock, because if you don't at the end of your turn, your opponent can make their move and get extra time to think, and you lose time. Check over here on this match. White certainly has black on the ropes. Only so many options. None of them great. Draws in these matches are worth half a point. Wins are 1. Losses are 0. Over here, pretty balanced game. Lucas Ergaladze up. Ooh, takes another knight. You can see time not yet too much of an issue in most of these games. The faster you can think, the faster you can move, the better set you are later in this match if your opponent is running out of time quickly. It looks like a finished game over here. Who was the victor? Sophomores, congratulations. Anything you'd like to say? Any recaps of the match?
I'm doing this for my friend Matt out there. Appreciate it to you, buddy. Yep, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Over here, this game progressing smoothly. Tied material. Oh, excuse me. I'm wrong. White has a queen that black does not. Seniors taking careful time to think on these moves. Slow moving game over here. Tied in time. Some calls of check over here from the junior freshman game. Almost an illegal move. The kings cannot move into each other. That would threaten them. This queen that white has that black does not, certainly a factor. The question is, how can white utilize this queen, manipulate the game? It's now a very difficult situation for black. He seems to be on the run. White needs to be careful here not to make a draw. If black can't make any moves, that would be a draw. So that's the balancing act here. Looks like mate and one. There's game. All right. This junior freshman game still going on over here. This one just finished. Whose point was it? Whose point was it? Yes. Congratulations. It's another point on the board for the freshmen. Here, this. Oh, yeah, two of these freshman junior games still going. Time counting down.
Working on cleaning up pizza. We know that the chess game is still going. We are gonna make our way over to the campus gym to work on completing our day. So
All right.
garbage away and teachers in 3 minutes. Why don't we start to make sure we have everyone over at the campus gym? Thank you.
So for anyone hearing that announcement, that looks like time for those of you tuning in. You'll be heading to the campus gym for the last few events, some results, and tug of war, mattress surfing, some exciting stuff. The stream will continue, probably with fewer viewers. Both players now in under a minute. The freshman certainly hurting for time. And that is time. That's another point for the freshman down there. And this game now very fast paced. Junior nearly out of time. 4 seconds left on the clock. This is when you cannot think, you just need to move. And that is game for the freshman.
All right, we're going to switch our final round. Juniors and sophomores will switch. So our final round will feature the seniors versus the juniors and the sophomores versus the freshmen. I'll update the standings shortly.
All right. This is the final high stakes matchup here in the CPR of Irvington High School. Mr. Hirsch, thank you. I appreciate it. Any observations, any words about these matches?
I was watching the live stream and it was so captivating. I felt the tension. I had to be here in person. They are incredible. There are moments where it's like, why did you shake hands? I don't even see how. Oh, there's so many moves ahead. I think this is such a cool event. I think the live stream's going great. You're doing a phenomenal job conveying without overwhelming. I'm not going to be quiet.
Certainly a balance for this broadcast between making too much noise, making not enough noise, adequately describing the events of this complicated game. Here we'll have the juniors versus the seniors and the sophomores versus the freshmen over on this table. As Mr. Berkowitz updates the scores. Now important to make sure that everyone gets to play each color an even amount of times, as I believe white gets to move first in the games, and that changes strategy in a way, definitely changes the balance early in that game. Looks like we are just about ready to get underway. Sophie moving down to this last match as the board gets flipped. And we will watch.
If we flip the boards and you're black, you can choose which side the clock is on. You know, so like.
Black does get to choose the side of the clock to give an advantage with their dominant hand for time counting, for marking that, tapping that timer. Here we'll see the opponents shake hands as the final round is underway. All right. And you can see everyone making these moves, these opening moves quickly, as they should. The best of the best chess players will have their openings memorized. They know roughly what they want to do, roughly what their opponent is going to do in response. Try to get that early advantage that they can carry through the rest of the game. Many hours slaving away on chess.com for plenty of these participants, I'm sure, myself included. Now we have the round 2 scores up with seniors with 2 points or 1 point. Oh, I see. So total, so seniors with 1 point, freshmen with 2, juniors with 2, and sophomores with 3 for that second round. 5 for seniors total, 2 for freshmen, 3 for juniors, and 3 for sophomores. All right. And we'll check back in on some of these games here. Down here, we've got an even match. Looks like time is slight advantage for the sophomore. Some of these games starting to pick up pace. Certainly getting towards the end game over here. Very fast-paced game. Both players with around 4 minutes left. A rough loss for the sophomore there as they lose a bishop to that rook. White certainly taking advantage of their position. Take advantage of that time. Now black a little more on the offensive. Although white is up material. When you do have 3 minutes plus on the clock, you can definitely take a little more time to consider these moves. Think about the consequences, future. You can see a whole lot of thinking down this line. I'll check over back on the senior junior matchups. White certainly with the time advantage. And it does appear to be a material advantage as well. White having 2 rooks, black only 1. Black was in check from white's knight, forking with that rook. Sophie now able to take that rook. And black moved illegally back into check of that bishop. Revealed check. You can see that bishop in the center of the board, threatening that king. King back in check from the knight. Knight once again forks with black's knight. Fork, for those of you who don't know, is when a knight or bishop is attacking a king or another piece, or two pieces at once even, and black then has to, or the other player has to decide which one to sacrifice, which one to save. A fork in the path of decisions, and that would be checkmate for the seniors. Point senior. Getting towards the end game over here. Both players about 2 minutes. You can see the board certainly more barren than when it started. Black moving out of check. Every move is crucial. Here, trade for black. Black now, with only the king left, now it becomes a puzzle for white. Puzzle of time and of space. White promoting the pawn to a queen. If the pawn reaches that far end, it then the player can choose to turn it into a queen, rook, or knight. White looking to get another queen. Certainly making things difficult for black, and that is checkmate. That's one more point to these seniors. As down here, white running out of time here. Certainly needs to be aware. You can start to hear the volume pick up in this room as the games finish and the players begin to talk. Now we'll move down to this sophomore freshman matchup. 20 seconds left for the sophomore. Aggressive performance by the freshman playing white. An illegal move caught by white. White able to take that queen, trade it for a rook. Once the pace picks up for these games, it's definitely hard to follow, certainly hard to commentate. Sometimes you just need to let the flow of the game speak for itself, and there is time for the sophomore. That's point to the freshman. Down here, about just under 20 seconds for black, just over 25 for white. This looks to be one of two remaining matches. Time definitely a factor late in this game. These moves need to happen quickly, or the game will be over. That is time for the sophomores point to the freshmen. And down here, over at this last game, we'll hustle over. And we just missed time for the juniors point to the seniors. Yes. There you have it. Pretty solid performance on all parts. We'll wait to see the final scores. Sophie, quick interview. You want? Well, how many games did you win here?
4.
4.
No,
That's a pretty.
3.
Oh, okay.
3.
3. Right. 3 games total. Freshmen won 3 this round. All right, Sophie. Pretty dominant performance here today. 0 losses, 0 draws. What would you equate that to?
I had legacy to uphold. I think I haven't lost one, and I was like, I'm not losing this year. My brother is stronger than me, or he thinks so. He thinks he is, but I still beat him. So that was the win of the day. So
Certainly an exciting day here at Color Wars Chess. The final scores: seniors 8, freshmen 5, juniors 4, sophomores 7. As we conclude chess here at Color Wars 2025. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. And I won't be here next year, but for anyone who will be, we'll see you next year. And good job, sophomores, for the second place. Good job.